Welcome to the newspaper review. I am Cassie Tony and I'll be taking you through this segment. First, we'll start with the Daily Trust. Boldly written, power outage may worsen as gas supply drops. On top of the newspaper, court bars Ondo governor from recontesting in 2028. You'll find that on page 10 of the newspaper. Troops kill ISWAP commander, 20 other terrorists in Yobe. You find that on page 7 of the newspaper. Sokoto, Zamfara, Kano, others listed as high risk for meningitis. You find that on page 7 of the newspaper. Still in the newspaper, rainfall destroys over 40 houses in Kogi. You find that on page 8 of the newspaper. Still in the same newspaper, airfares may risk as aviation fuel hits 1,835 naira per litre. You find it on page 19 of the newspaper. Still in the same newspaper, 181 Nigerians repatriated from Libya. You find it on page 25 of the newspaper. Moving away from that newspaper to The Observer's Times. Boldly written, Britain rules out red carpet, tightens security for Tinubu. UK imposes airspace and traffic restrictions for Nigeria's president. Metropolitan Police call visit a historic occasion. Still in the same newspaper, Dino Melaye, why Peter Obi cannot be Nigerian president in 2027. You find it on page 6 of the newspaper. Still in the same newspaper, Tambuwal resigns from PDP, cites internal crisis. Still in the same newspaper, troops kill ISWAP top commander Abu Yusuf, 20 others in Yobe. You find that on page 8 of the newspaper. Moving away from that newspaper to New Nigerian. Boldly written, we join ADC to give Nigeria's better future. Coming from Tambuwa, says Nigerians sick, tired of APC. Distribute food items to constituents, supporters. Still in the same newspaper, on top of the newspaper, wow, this is a very interesting one. Glaucoma causes irreversible blindness, expert warn. Still in the same newspaper, Ubasani's education drive. Kaduna moves to end out of school crisis. You find it on page 12 of the newspaper. Still in the same newspaper, Showore comments on defense minister, irresponsible, disrespectful. You find it on page 3 of the newspaper. Several displays as rainstorm wreaks havoc on 40 homes, others in Kogi. You find it on page 4 of the newspaper. Still in the same newspaper, Ubasani moves to make Kaduna agricultural livestock hub of northern Nigeria. You find it on page 9 of the newspaper. Bua Cement supports resettled Sokoto host communities with farming input. You find that on page 16 of the newspaper. Still in the same newspaper, Governor Dauda Lawal's defection to APC will bring more development to Zamfara. You find that on page 2 of the newspaper. Moving away from that newspaper to the Daily Monitor. Boldly written, why we dump our former parties, Tambuwa, Abaribe, others. At the top of the newspaper, FX market reforms raises capital inflows by 200%. You find it on page 6 of the newspaper. PSC approves promotion of 13 CPS to AIGs, 17 DCPs to CPS. You find that on page 4 of the newspaper. Still in the same newspaper, at the bottom of the newspaper, security chiefs brief Tinubu on anti-terror operations. Still in the same newspaper, urge Nigerians not to lose hope despite recent attacks in some parts of the country. Moving away from that newspaper to Blueprint, boldly written, Abaribe's fate hangs, Tambuwa, Ume, King Jibe, others join ADC. On top of the newspaper, UK announces road closure, no-fly zones for Tinubu state visit. You find that on page 6 of the newspaper. At the bottom of the newspaper, amid Middle East war, FCCPC moves against price manipulations. Still in the same newspaper, US-Israel will pay. Iran's new supreme leader vows, says, I lost my father, wife, others. Still in the same newspaper, moving away from that particular newspaper to the leadership. Boldly written, APC tightens grip on NAS with 87 senators, 261 rep. You find that on page 4 of the newspaper. Still in the same newspaper, remain committed or be kicked out. Governor Yusuf warned Kaduna commissioners. You find that on page 14 of the newspaper. Still in the same newspaper, troops kill 20 ISWAP terrorists in failed Yobe attacks. You find that on page 6 of the newspaper. FCCPC moves to prevent petrol price manipulation. Still in the same newspaper, don't decentralize pipeline surveillance. Ondo rep tells Tinubu. You find that on page 21 of the newspaper. Tinubu state visit. UK announces no-fly zones. Road closure. You find that on page 25 of the newspaper. Moving away from that particular newspaper to the Nigerian Tribune. Boldly written, Middle East war disrupts fertilizer supplies, put food security at risk. You find that on page 3, 5, and 6 of the newspaper. At the top of the newspaper, Appeal Court affirms Oluyede as PDP governor candidate in Ekiti. You find it on page 22 of the newspaper. Still in the same newspaper, Nigeria in far stronger position to navigate renewed global stocks. Nigeria in far stronger position to navigate renewed global shocks, coming from CBN governor. You find it on page 6 of the newspaper. Still in the same newspaper, 9 senators defect to ADC, 12 reps join ADC. You find that on page 21 of the newspaper. Tinubu meets service chiefs, IGP. You find that on page 27 of the newspaper. Reps move to ascertain terror status of Iba Island. You find that on page 2 of the newspaper. Moving away from that particular newspaper to the Daily Independent. Boldly written, CBN governor cites stability gains from both policy rifts. Says TD is turning on inflation, FX validity. Banking sector overheld driving economic resilience. At the top of the newspaper, our reconciliation will include option of endorsing Tinubu coming from PDP. Still in the same newspaper, Senate stops Abaribe from defecting to ADC once he risks losing seats. Ume Kingibe, 6 other senators defect to ADC. You'll find that on page 29 of the newspaper. Still in the same newspaper, ADC asks Tinubu to stop treating governance like a game. You find that on page 29 of the newspaper. The bond claim of disciplinary action against Ireti. Still in the same newspaper, court permits ICPC to analyze devices recovered from el-Rufai's home. You find that on page 7 of the newspaper. Still in the same newspaper, power plant hit only 32% availability amid grid instability, coming from NERC. You find that on page 7 of the newspaper. We've come to the end of the newspaper. Many thanks for watching. I am Kasitoni, reminding you to stay informed and stay ahead. Do well to join us next time for more breaking news across Nigeria. A beautiful day to you. 11.